Other farmers also money na acquire by the bag Ghanatube. Money say Ghanatube information no. Enyambelandi and Etinyan to from na fresh na just say and person from Makabe so near the Bremo Ashefo native send a beam to be who are dear cost to Ghana ha. Any we are suffering in order for breaking news case here and I bet to Jawbeka I say Aya communication minister Aya Sam George ne hu aba sem din sisi ana amena okase ne Sam George per se Aya Airtel Tigo fo a ma bom no opese Aya Telecel so ebeka Airtel Tigo hu ne de bom already nankasa ne kane no na ye Tigo e na ye Airtel e na chese ye di sisi e di abom Aya Airtel Tigo sisi anu ye san so di Telecel wa beka hu na ye Airtel Tigo Telecel odofo Sam George na yetwe ne srani abasa e wo social media na so ye see onim minority force onim na so ye sa de we dia asema beto Sam George pan wo kroma se de obedwen wo sa on tia so dofo anyem na me kan we are breaking news abeto dwa chese Sam George ne ho achi ne dendendin a yes initiative no say opeso de Airtel Tigo ana so opeso de Telecel Airtel Tigo na ekwe Airtel Tigo Telecel no sa discussions ni nyina na say sa enisuade hu no Sam George wa chese Ghana fo nyina ka say dabi nya de be pele so do fo manko ye ko ji sansem wo nyina nchire mu ye nti Sam George ne ho aba asem dendendin a chese obi aka no wasem ne mba yisi a Ghanatube so.
Now, this afternoon, the minority caucus has strongly condemned ongoing plans by government to consolidate AT with Telecel, alleging that the communication ministry is hastily attempting to dispose of AT, a strategic national asset. Ranking member on the Information and Communication Committee, Matthew Nyindam, accused the current communication minister, Sam George, of rejecting a proposal by Canadian firm Rectron to purchase shares in AT to merge the telco with Telecel to pursue a personal agenda. He also says the ongoing arrangement lacks parliamentary oversight and must be immediately halted for parliamentary inquiry. Let's connect now with Christian Yale, who's in Parliament for us. Christian, good afternoon to you. Let's talk quickly about this recent development in Parliament. We understand that was a long statement. Give us a bit more detail.
Things have rejected the ongoing consolidation by the communications minister to merge AT with Telecel Ghana. Now, let's just lay some premises here. One, they say that they are not against private sector, investment. However, it is more about the manner in which the communications minister and even government is going about this, which is the problem. Now, you would understand or recall that earlier, Canada-based company or firm Rectron announced that it is going to purchase some high shares in Airtel Ghana or AT to boost it. That would have, in other words, enhanced the operations of AT Ghana. But the minority claims the communications minister rejected that offer and chose to merge AT Ghana with Telecel, which is also largely owned by the private sector, which is a concern for them. They realize that doing so, or going ahead to do that in a way would, cause or bring about a duopoly, and they see it as this duopoly eventually ending up to become a monopoly where you'd have only MTN Ghana, which is now termed as the SMP, dominating the market, and call it, once MTN is no more, then it becomes that the whole sector crashes. And so what? They have a simple, request for the president to intervene, direct his communications minister to halt the ongoing transaction or the ongoing consolidation process, and also bring the whole transaction before Parliament for a parliamentary inquiry. But I have here with me the ranking member on the Information and Communications Committee of Parliament, Matthew Nyindam, who addressed the press on this thorny issue. Honorable, you are welcome. You're live on News Central on TV3. What are your main concerns over this transaction?
Yes, just like you rightly said, our concern basically is to let the minister know that the way he's going about the telecommunication sector is not helpful to the people of this country. Like you said, we are not against privatization. We have no issues with Telecel. We have no issues with Recton. But our issue is that, look, if we are going to do something for 80, it should be transparent. It should be carrying everybody on board. And we should look for a strategic investor that will serve as who will end up being a huge block in the telecom sector, not limiting it to only Telecel and MTN. And we think that looking at the assets, looking at the expertise, what 18 needs simply is capital injection. That's all they need. And if you have a company like Recton that is prepared, which the minister actually started with, the minister signed an MOU with them for a 60-40, and they are investing $150 million within the first year, and they are preparing to invest over $1 billion within the 5 years. And I think that if the minister give them the opportunity, or look for any other strategic partner and invest hugely in 80, which is our own, it will benefit Ghanaians. And that monopoly, that seeming monopoly that MTN is enjoying, it is going to end, because the billing system of 80 is much fair and much better for the ordinary Ghanaians than
but there are some who say that this would also help to bring about competition in the industry, as it were. Don't you agree with that? And also, when you listen to the minister's media engagement earlier, he had spoken about the pros, more or less, of this direction to merge AT with Telecel. It's all in good faith, isn't it?
No, it's not going to help us. Just like we said, AT is a merger of Tigo and what? Telecel. What Airtel Tigo. Yes, I get him. So there are two companies that have come together. It did not help us. At the end of the day, it is liquid. At the end of the day, it is capital. At the end of the day, it is about huge capital investment. So we think that, yes, he may have a good intention by thinking that he's bringing Telecel and AT together. But for now, I can tell you that the problems of Telecel and the problems of AT are very similar. So you can't bring two weak companies together and think that you are building a stronger company. We don't believe so.
But essentially, per the minister's narrative, we've not lost anything by moving or migrating the customers on AT onto Telecel's roaming, which is one. But also, I mean, the fact or the conversation about the fact that when you look at it, take or leave it, this is going to be, and from what the minister has said, it is going to be in the interest of the country. They have probably undertaken their own assessment and all of that before getting into that. You remember that KPMG was contracted to also conduct some survey into all of this.
It is the more reason why we are calling on the president to actually get the minister to see how he can fix 80. The KPMG report that you are talking about, it is not known to the two of us. He commissioned KPMG to actually be the financial advisor to him on Recton, not Telecel. So for the Telecel deal, it is only known to him, the minister only. That directive he has given, we think that it has even cost 80, about 7 million Ghana cedis in 1 month, just directing the customers of 80 to roam on Telecel.
But Sam George has also mentioned that you know, getting AT for $1 has also, cost the country about some 3.5 billion cedis, which the companies are asking government to pay.
You see, if you look at the move that Osla did, in any case, Airtel was living. They were living. They will realize that they were not profitable, so they were living. So strategically, to save workers of Airtel was the move to acquire it 100%. So the move was to save customers. That is all. And it was procured at $1. Are you getting what I'm saying? Although there was an allegation from Sam George that it was about $250 million, he's not been able to prove it as we speak. So what we are saying is that, look, the telecom sector is a very sensitive sector. We cannot leave it in the hands of only one. Or, as we spoke about the duopoly, it's not going to help, because if you put two companies together, and at the end of the day, a stronger one managed to collapse the second one, it means that automatically it becomes a monopoly. So we think that AT is a state-owned company, we should look for a strategic investor, an investor that is ready and has the financial muscles to invest in 80. And if they do that, I'm telling you, the monopoly or the semi-monopoly that MTN thinks is going to enjoy is going to break. I'm telling you. But if we decide to bring two weak companies like Telecel and 80, thinking that we are doing Ghanaians any favor, we are not doing any Ghanaians.
So for you,
let me add. We are also saying that whatever transaction that the minister intends to do or to take, it must be transparent. It must come to the parliament for all of us to scrutinize and have proper oversight over it. That's simply what we ask for him to do. Right. Simple.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I've been engaging the ranking member on the Information and Communications Committee of Parliament, Matthew Yendam, on this issue. You remember earlier in September, the Minister Sam George engaged the media and among many other things noted with worry what he sees to be, some bit of mismanagement by the erstwhile administration, which has plunged the country into indebtedness on that front, which the minority today has discounted or dispelled. They are asking the minister to halt the ongoing consolidation of AT with Telecel and bring the whole transaction before Parliament. They want the details to scrutinize word by word to see if it is indeed in the interests of the country, as it were. And so that has been it. That is the tour, like you indicated earlier. It was actually a very detailed presser addressed by the minority on this front. But we wait to see whether the president, as it were, and as they've demanded of him to intervene in this, would do so as they want him to do. Back to you, Kemini.
Well, Christian Yali there with that report and interview with the ranking on the Communications Committee of Parliament. We'll now turn attention to other stories.
Out of four, when a breaking news about told you, says Sam George na no who actually ding. Yes, see, Sam George per se audit Telecel. Ebeka a Airtel Tigo. One him say Airtel Tigo die already nankasa na measure. Ubeka say Airtel no kaneno na it was on its own. Tigo nso saa ena chese omode Airtel Tigo be boom no maye ne ba ko disi anu Airtel Tigo na ye ba ko no disi anu Telecel so e ba be ka ho biom enti no minority force hey Sam George dabi na den na obese o kire no enya ade a ombe pene so se o pese o ye changes bi say na fa sa changes ni nyina fa bra parliament na parliament ye nye hwehwemu wie a na jese ya dia tubu se eye no kre anase nye no kre ansa na wo be ye dwuma bi a waye enye saade a enya ade a omobetwe ade ama Sam George odofo when a breaking news about dwa jese Sam George na jese all trending on social media no so a ne ho aba asem dendende am so be gini nyina bro e wo Ghanatube odofo mo be fi so be like na ma subscribe no ma share no ma hit notification bell so ma se ne be a abrini abibia drop content say ya wo wonya ne tempa na wa hwe no tem odofo aha ana mede Sam George ni nsem nyina be si Ghanatube odofo makra mu nyina meda mu nyina se bebre